now, from the great state of Mississauga in Ontario, Canada, it's the Ted Wallachin Podcast. Brought to you by ETP Canada, providing estate administration with ease. ETP Canada. And Tom's Place, for the finest in men's fashion. Tom's Place will suit you. And now, here's Ted.
Thanks so much, Becky, and thank you all for tuning in. And we don't really tune in, do you? I guess you get kind of a tuning in. Whatever you're here, so we're glad you're here, and we appreciate it each week. And if you have any thoughts and comments on the episodes that you have heard, or any ideas for episodes that you'd like to hear, go to our website, www.tedwallachin.ca. That's WOLOSHYN, and leave your comments and your thoughts and suggestions. We would be much appreciative of that. My special guest this week will be making Canadian music history this spring when he becomes the first hip-hop artist to be inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. His debut album, Symphony in Effect, was the first certified platinum LP by a Black artist. He's also an actor, was nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in The Line, and you probably recognize him from Mr. D, the comedy show. He is the author of the White Noise Award-winning book, Stick to Your Vision, How to Get Past the Hurdles and Haters to Get Where You Want to Be, and he is the host of his own cooking show, which he produces, called Maestro Chef Wes. He is Maestro Fresh Wes. Welcome. It's nice to see you. Thanks very much for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me.
First of all, congratulations for your upcoming induction into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. That's quite the honor. Tell me about how that all happened. How did you find out about it, and what was your original reaction?
Well, yeah, I got a call in June by Alan Reed from Junos, and he asked me if I'm down to be inducted. Are you ready? I'm like, yeah, no doubt. Because he already told me back in 2017 that before he retires, one day he'll get me inducted. So and we see each other every now and then, right? So he just gave me that little wink like, okay, I haven't forgotten you. When June rolled around the corner is when I got the call, and we had a beautiful announcement the other day.
Yeah. So it's a culmination of a lot of great work that you've done over the years. And it's some people you talk to, I've talked to a number of artists over the years who have been inducted into various halls of fame. And for them, one of them said to me, it's kind of bittersweet. And I said, why is that? He said, well, because they're honoring all my work, but they're almost telling me that my career is over at the same time. Yeah, and I said, well, not really, but I can understand that. Do you feel that at all?
No.
Good.
That's the thing. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way at all. I feel like obviously I've been around for a while, but like
you're a young man.
I'm not a young dude, but I'm not crazy old, man. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like I have so much things to still do that I'm not even fathoming it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even the preparation for it, like all together, like to get all my pieces, like all the ducks in a row, like make sure like my family gets the tickets,
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I going to wear? Like my wardrobe, all that. Do you see what I'm saying? There's so much things to still accomplish and still do.
Now, this is going to be happening during the week of the Junos. And so you'll be at the Junos. Have you been asked to perform at the Junos?
So I'll be performing. Yes, that's correct.
Great. Do you know what you're going to be doing?
I'm putting the show together, but I'll for sure I'll do Let Your Backbone Slide and conducting things, those two for sure, and Drop the Needle to some capacity. But a lot of the earlier stuff, but I'll figure it out.
So I asked when what your reaction was to finding out that you were being inducted. What was your reaction like when you found out that Symphony in Effect, which is your first album from where Let Your Backbone Slide originates, became the first certified platinum LP by a Black artist?
Well, I mean, I've known that for the last 30 plus years. So
yeah, but when you found out first.
Yes, when I found that out back in the days, I knew I was on to something monumental. We knew like my whole slogan nowadays is don't make records, make history. So even back then, I was definitely making history, did something monumental.
Yeah.
for my genre of music.
Well, when you look at like certainly one of the most successful artists of in any genre right now is Drake. And Drake speaks so highly of you, and he says that you basically cleared the path for so many artists. I mean, you opened many, many doors.
Yeah, I mean, he's the voice of his generation, man. So we're proud of him, and we tip our hats to him and his whole crew for everything that he's done for the last 10 plus years, man. It's been incredible.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the other things that you've done because you're such a multi-talented, multifaceted individual, and I find that interesting, and I think probably a healthy thing too. Because I think
Yep,
for some
definitely.
people, if you get stuck into one thing, that becomes your entire life, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, thank you very much for acknowledging that. Yeah, it's not healthy to do one thing alone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you acknowledged that, to see that. Yeah, I had different things to do. I had to diversify.
I mean, you're an author. You wrote "Stick to Your Vision: How to Get Past the Hurdles and Haters to Get Where You Want to Be," which was actually nominated for a White Pine Award.
No,
How did that book come
I
about?
did win the award.
You did win it, eh?
I did win the award, and that book right there was based on, a lot of it was based on what I've been through musically. So
And your acting career as well. You were nominated for a Canadian Screen Award,
yes, yes, I'm very proud of that too as well. You know,
and I saw you the other day on Mr. D.
yeah, I loved being on Mr. D. That was awesome. We shot that. We did that was 8 summers, eight
Yeah,
seasons. Yeah, we shoot in the Maritimes. So
you're originally a Toronto guy, right? East End
born
of
and raised.
Toronto.
Yeah, born and raised. Yeah.
What made you do to make the move out east?
Yeah, I mean, when COVID hit, we figured out that St. John would be the best place for my son's mom and I to co-parent him, right?
Yeah.
So it was based on family.
And was it a difficult transition for you?
St. John's the nicest place in the world, nicest people in the world, man. As long as you get to travel and get to see people, like even just what I'm thinking of, what I already did today in St. John with my son is awesome. You know.
Now, you coached your son's football team at one point, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was assistant coach for a couple of the seasons. The last one was here when we were in St. John.
Yeah.
We got here, so I'm an assistant coach.
And as a kid, were you a good athlete?
I was all right, man. My whole thing was, the guys that I saw did really well. They started when they were young, right? So I just wanted to have my son start when I could have started, or when
Yeah.
I should have started, type thing.
And what about today? Are you a bigger basketball fan and a football fan?
Well, when I try to help him with stuff, he says, "Dad, you're a rapper, not a raptor." So I try to help him, and he gets a little mouthy, a little verbally abusive on the basketball court.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because you know that kids know more than their parents, right?
Of course,
It isn't
of course
until
they
they
do.
hit a certain age when they realize, holy geez, the old man actually had some brains to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly.
And let's talk about because you take out on so many different projects and so many different names go with the projects. You're Maestro Fresh Wes, the hip hopper, the rapper. And by the way, for those people who don't know the difference, explain the difference between hip hop and rapping.
I mean, to me, I get confused, man. This is, that's just, yeah. I mean, I rap, but I'm a hip hop artist. I'm an MC beyond that, beyond just being
Yeah.
on the mic. So,
Because I found it really strange. Where "Let Your Backbone Slide," first single from a Canadian hip hop artist to go gold, and yet at the same time, it's the first rap song inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. So I'm looking at this as I'm doing my research. That's what I'm saying. Research gets a little confusing sometimes on the internet.
but guess what though?
So
I get confused too.
yeah,
I get confused with it too, and that's coming from me. So the bottom line is, for me being one of the veterans or elder statesmen in this,
yeah,
I answer to either or, man. That's fine.
yeah. You're cool, man.
Yeah,
And then you took on a cooking show, and now
yeah.
you became Maestro Chef Wes.
I won't say I became. Like, that's the name of my.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
name of my
Just I
show.
understand that. Yeah, you didn't go legally change your name or anything, but
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't legally change it, but how cool is that? That I was able to diversify and have that. So that's cool.
have you ever already always had a passion for food as well?
Man, it was more of a thing, Ted, where I started producing my own television projects. That's what it was more than anything else. Just me, have the opportunity to produce my own television projects. So Maestro Chef Wes is my very first TV project that I'm one of the producers on, and on top of that, we're in season 2 post production.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And you get to work with some really fascinating people. They had Chef Michael Smith on, who's I think is probably one of the coolest Canadian chefs around.
Yeah, it was great to hang out with him in Prince Edward Island. We had a good time, definitely. I learned a lot.
You did a thing on sustainable fishing when the bluefin tuna, I think it was.
Yes, the bluefin tuna.
Yeah.
That was fun.
When you were growing up, were you surrounded you had your three kids in the family, right? Everybody have musical abilities.
Yeah, I mean, my sister, she's known as DJ Mel Boogie. My brother, as a matter of fact, my brother just produced a track on my last album that just dropped. Yeah, my dad played a lot of music in the house. My mom, showed us how to play piano, what have you. So, I guess you would say we were a musical family. But I'm just happy that my brother finally got a track on my last album.
Yeah.
Ted Wallachin returns in a moment.
Attention all men, it'll soon be Black Friday, the absolute best time to restock your wardrobe. Hey, it's Ted Wallachin for Tom's Place. It's always important to dress for success, and we have you covered from business casual to sports jackets to suits. Incredible deals starting now on lips and shirts, regularly up to $225 each for only $60. S. Cohn and other designer suits, regularly up to $650, slashed to $350, or an amazing 2 for $600. Plus, a huge selection of sports jackets, valued at up to $695, now 50% off. On the second floor, we're also slashing prices on suits, sports jackets, dress shirts, and pants. Check out our website, toms-place.com, for details and more great deals. Tom's Place Black Friday sale, starting now in the heart of Kensington Market, 190 Baldwin. That's Tom's Place, where we'll suit you. Have you been tasked with the role of a state executor, or expected maybe in the future you will be? Well, if so, let me make your life a lot simpler by introducing you to my friend Debbie Stanley. Debbie is the founder of ETP Canada. They specialize in estate administration. Their goal simply is to help Canadian executors understand their role and how to deal with the loved one's estate. Let's face it, there's no school for this, but ETP Canada offers services such as executor support, estate accounting, and they have a new online course called Executor Ready. It's an engaging video designed to make estate administration easier and affordable. And those are two comforting thoughts during a stressful time. So call Debbie Stanley at 1-866-309-0387. That's 1-866-309-0387. Or you can get her at info@etpcanada.ca. That's info@etpcanada.ca.
This jam is amplified, so just glide. And let your backbone slide. You listen to every word I say, every verb you heard I play, snaps the vertebrae. You try to cover, hover me, a roast, a fake, a flag, then I run a post, toast. I'm the most. DEF's how it goes, no X's or O's or tic-tac-toes. LTD knows this ain't a game, I'm on a mission. Call me a hip-hop tip-tactician. I rap just like a slab of clay that's shapeless. Chef ain't no shimmer, no glass is tasteless. A universe without light is lightless. That's why I always take time to write this. I'm holding in my hands before I start chiseling. Could be a rain or brainstorm or drizzling. Sun could be shining, sun could be showering. Practice makes perfect, I'm powering, flowering. My lyrics are awesome and tuning, voluming, blooming, I'm blossoming, blowing away blockades and barricades, make it black and blue from the blast to the blaze. It's a blood sport. Blood builds out back. I make your vision go blurry while your brain goes blank into oblivion. Beats from box to box, the bass rocks from blocks and blocks. Let your backbone slide.
Now back to Ted Wallachin.
You enjoy working in collaboration with other artists. Cardinal Official you worked with before as well. Who's this big year for him as well, because he's winning an award at the Walk of Fame. I think it's the Alan Slade Award, right?
Yeah, I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's like my favorite Toronto MC. So Cardinal, enough respect.
Where did the name Maestro Chef Wes come from?
The Maestro Chef Wes?
Or Maestro, yeah, either one of them.
Well, the
The
Maestro
chef
Chef
understand.
Wes is a play on words
Yeah, with the
because I'm the
fresh.
Maestro Fresh West, and then the other name came from just me being creative and coming up being a concept driven artist, using the Maestro theme and concept for it, and just the Maestro Fresh West. It had a ring to it, and I stuck with it. I must have done something right.
Yeah. You do a lot of work. You're an advocate for a number of different charities. How and why did that come about?
I think the Most High has blessed me to be here, and it's like it's a good feeling to give back because you're helping people, helping somebody out less fortunate. I'm proud to say I just established my first scholarship. It's called the Maestro Fresh West Scholarship, and it's out of Nova Scotia Community College, Akerley campus. And the reason I chose the Akerley campus is because back in 2017, they gave me an honorary diploma for the work that I've done in the province, what have you. So I thought, how cool would it be for my very first scholarship for it to be there? And it's specifically for Black youth involved in trades. And yeah, so I think that's very important for my community to have youth, be leaning towards trades. There's not a shortage of rappers, but it's definitely a shortage of brothers and sisters involved in trades. So I thought that would be something that was more productive.
Yeah. How you look at the work that Drake has done with the Raptors, and you've been involved along that line as well, right? With one of your tunes.
I've been doing stuff with the Raptors for decades now.
Are you a buddy with Jamal McGlure?
Yeah, man. Me and him are cool, man. That's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he does a lot of work with the Children's Breakfast Club in Toronto. That's where I first met him years ago.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Me and him lived in the same neighborhood in Toronto. We both went to St. Timothy's School, Don Mills and Shepherd area back in the just different generations, but yeah, that's my guy, man.
Were you a good student?
Yeah, I like to think so. I was all right, man. No complaints. Not too many complaints with the teachers, man. My strength was like the arts, and that's what I excelled in. Definitely. As a matter of fact, we just celebrated Remembrance Day. I just remember looking at an old frame of mine from the Royal Canadian Legion. This was my first time I ever placed in a poetry writing contest. I came second place, man. How cool is that? Back in 1979 for something that I wrote. It's good to just reflect back on times like this. You talk about Remembrance Day. I remember when I found that out. I was like 11 years old. And I guess that was a precursor to what I'm doing now. It's like, just this week, I celebrated the announcement of being inducted in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Well, back in the days, 1979, right?
Yeah.
Came second place in a poetry contest for the Royal Canadian Legion for Remembrance Day. So it just shows that I must have been doing something right. That's something that I've had a gift, and I continue striving, to get better.
At what point in your life did you decide, at about what age were you when you thought to yourself, I can really make a go of this professionally as a musician? Like this isn't just because a lot of kids grow up and they play in bands and they sing and they mess with music and they think in the back of their minds, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, but that's not going to happen. At one point did you think to yourself, yeah, it is going to happen?
Well, being 56 now, right? Looking back, to be honest with you, when I was 17 and 18, I wasn't thinking how I was going to be when I was 56. I wasn't thinking levels like that, right?
No, that's because that's old, man.
Well, it's older, but at the same time, too, the average 17-year-old isn't fathoming what he's going to do when he's in his 40s or 50s, right? So that being said, I was thinking, what am I going to do in my 20s? Like, that's what I was thinking. And I knew I had it in me to be successful as an MC, based on all the years of, being on CKLN radio, just the response that I got from fans, listening to radio, from performing, opening up for like some U.S. acts, what have you. Um, I saw people's reception. I was a huge fan of the genre, and I saw where I was, like where my level of was compared to like the LL Cool J's or the Kumo D's
Yeah.
or what have you. So I'm like, you know what? I think I could do this as well. Definitely.
Who have you not collaborated with that you'd like to do some work with?
I don't know,
Both on screen and in the studio.
I don't know, man. I mean, Tupac, rest in peace. I would have loved to do a movie
Yeah.
with him, back in the days, what have you. But it's so funny. You know who I want to work with now as a movie? Method Man. I'd want to work with I'd want to work with Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan. I'd love to do a like collaboration on a film or a TV project with him. I think that'd be cool. Just so I can say I did a scene with Meth. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got kind of their little fantasies with it, they'd love to do, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think that'd be cool because he's from where I'm from, like in terms of obviously I'm a little older than him and it came out before the Wu-Tang Clan did. But I mean, considering what he's done in a group and considering what he did as a solo artist and to see what he's doing now as an actor, I'm very proud of him. So that's what I'd want to do. I'd want to do a scene with him, like maybe some Law and Order type thing,
Yeah.
That'd be fresh.
So you're saying that your cooking shows is you're in post production now for the season 2.
That's correct.
And are there plans for season 3, or do you have to still wait on Bell's decision on that?
Yeah, we're going to see how that goes, man. We're going to wait and see how that goes. But season 1 did well, and I'm proud to have that opportunity to do another season. And speaking of seasons, season 4 of my other show, Race Against the Tide, will be coming out in August, and I'm very proud of that. That show, that's something I've never done before. Hosting sand sculpting competitions. That's something I've never done before. So.
Well, every time you take a step in a different direction, it's a mixture of, can I do this? And yeah, I'm looking forward to something new because that keeps me fresh.
I think that's the latter right there with me, just something new altogether because, me doing music related things makes sense. And that's something that it's expected. Me doing things outside the parameters of music is like, wow, okay, what else can I do and still make it cool? So.
Your thought maybe in the future, your production company might look into doing a full-length feature film?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, those are thoughts. To see what comes into fruition is a different ball game, but this is a great start right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk with all your work that you do, the charitable work that you do, you meet a lot of younger kids and you talk to young kids.
Yeah.
And when they come to you for advice, and I'm sure they do, whether it be advice as an actor, or advice as a writer, or advice as a musician or producer or whatever, what are the kinds of things that you say to keep them inspired? Because it's a difficult world that we live in right now, and it's filled with all kinds of barriers that shouldn't be around anymore, but they are.
Yeah, I'd say, don't let your passion become your liability, but have fun doing what you're doing. And it's easy to assimilate, but I like to be around people who innovate, be inspired to be around innovators, man.
Yeah.
Like that's what I try to do. Nobody told me to put on a black tuxedo. You know what I'm saying? Back in 89 or back in 88, what have you. I just thought it would be different. So that's what I tell artists. Just try to tap in, like, what's going to make you different from everybody else? What's your story?
And it's important for them to believe in what they're doing, as opposed to don't write music and produce music because this is what's cool right now. Do what you want to do and make it cool for everybody else.
Exactly. So that's a good, that's what I would do. I definitely say something encouraging.
Yeah. And how old is your son now?
He's only 15, man. He just turned 15 the other day.
You're 15 going on 35, right? Yeah. I had one of those, but he is 35 now. Yeah, that's right. It's cool watching them grow up, though, and watching the change in them. And sometimes you look and you see to them, at least it's happened to me, and I shouldn't assume this to you, but if you ever catch yourself sometimes looking at him and thinking to yourself, God, it's like I'm looking at a mirror from way back.
Yeah, he looks better than me. He looks better than me. He's taller, He's taller than me, definitely. Smarter,
Yeah.
Better athlete. He's a good guy, man. Good young man. So
Always blows me away when did you get to the point yet when they start dad shaming you and kind of making fun of your dad jokes and dad clothes and
and I
just
just
like
told you, he told me, Dad, you're a rapper, not a raptor.
yeah,
He's been
exactly that kind of thing.
the guy's been verbally abusive for a while,
Yeah, but he's not like that to his mom, though, is he?
Nah. He's a
No.
good kid.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking the time, and again, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much,
indeed
man.
an honor.
I appreciate being appreciated, and the fact that you wanted to spend time listening to what I got to say about what I'm doing and what I'm accomplished means a lot, though. Definitely.
Well, I just love to join you on one of your cooking missions with some of those great chefs that you hang out with. Because every time I watch a cooking show, and as I mentioned, I was watching it with Michael Smith, and I have to put it on pause and run to make myself something to eat.
Yeah,
that's when you know you're watching a good cooking show.
Definitely. But thank you.
Yeah, you take care, man. All the best.
All right, peace.
That'll do it for another edition of our program. Thank you so much for listening in. We appreciate it. And pass on your thoughts, if positive, to us at www.tedwallishin.ca, and also share your thoughts with your friends, and hopefully have your friends come on board and give us a listen as well. And while you're online, by the way, fill out your organ and tissue donation card. You could change or even save a life. In the meantime, have a great week.
The Ted Wallachin Podcast has been brought to you by ETP Canada, providing estate administration with ease. And Tom's Place, for the finest in men's clothing at unbeatable prices. It's Tom's Place at 190 Baldwin in the heart of Kensington Market. Tom's Place will suit you. The Ted Wallachin Podcast is produced by Becky Coles, that's me. Technical production by Paul Gatt. Music by Bike Thieves. To talk to Ted and for more information on his podcast and our sponsors, go to www.tedwallishin.ca.